15 and 16, 8 seed, Jeffrey Mann versus 25 seed, Zach Tackett. On 15 and 16, number 9 seed, Chris Cundiff versus number 24 seed, Jackson Cross. On 17 and 18, number 5 seed, Tyler Perry versus number 28 seed, Josh Myers. On 17 and 18, number 12 seed, Mike Dole versus 21 seed, Mike Kahn. 19 and 20, number 13 seed, R.J. Pollard versus 20 seed, Hunter Kempton. On 19 and 20, number 4 seed, Jeff Fair versus 29 seed, Zach Weidman. 21-22, number 3 seed, Joe Bailey versus number 30 seed, Bob Hale. On 21 and 22, number 14 seed, Brian Halen versus number 19 seed, Matt Gazin. On 5 and 6, number 6 seed, Jacob Sisk versus number 27 seed, Brett Shepard. On 5 and 6, number 11 seed, Gene Perez versus number 22 seed, Greg Young. On 7 and 8, number 7 seed, TJ Schmidt versus number 26 seed, Joel Kloss. On 7 and 8, number 10 seed, Matthew Farber versus number 23 seed, Jordan Gray. On lanes 9 and 10, number 15 seed, Tommy Tikatz versus number 18 seed, Steve Novak. And 9 and 10, number 2 seed, Jason Sollers versus number 31 seed, Chris Safart. That's your top 32 matches. Go ahead and get your stuff taken to your starting pair. We'll have a few more announcements here before we get practice underway in 15 minutes. recognize someone in the field this morning. For the second, as you guys know, that have bowled this event for several years. Some have bowled more than others. Some have bowled for their first time. I take great pride in putting out a pattern that every year that is challenging, that requires not only shot making, spare shooting, consistent speed, and as you know in this center, it's different from one end of the house to the other, and a lot of things happen during your squads that make it difficult to score at a high level consistently. But this bowler has done something that has never been done before in the event in our 21 years, and that is lead the field for 2 consecutive years in a row. So earning the silver tray with a qualifying score of 904 to lead the Ebonite Lafayette Open is Mr. Nathan Mikulowski. We'll get a picture with Nathan. Okay. Everybody has their lane assignments again this morning. We'll give you plenty of practice. Before we get your practice underway, we'd all ask you to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Okay, bowlers, report to your starting pairs, please. All right, we're going to get your lanes turned on for 15 minutes of warm-up. just take the box out. No, but introduction, and you don't want to have to zoom in, zoom out. That's why I'm saying, so what we, in an ideal world, if we haven't, what I'm saying, but I'm not so sure, I'm not so sure that we don't want to take one of these cameras off and then put it down, and then we have an extra, we just pop a cable in and out, right? We just put a camera down there. We have this camera's all we need. We zoom in.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. Zoom in, score, another camera down there if you want to.
Then we have another camera fixed on us, so you can do, we don't know who we're going to have in the booth.
So what I have to do is, I have the cord run outside, so I can take the cord This will be the only one I will have to actually bring all the cords plug in and just set it where I have to go. So it's going to have that time.
hold up on your practice. Recycle your pin setters to the first ball. Hold up on your practice, please. Quickly, before we get things started, your scorecards are down at the rails, and there's a couple on the tables. Here's how this works. High seed on the pair is letter A. Second, your opponent is letter C. Second high seed is B. Your opponent is D. Last but not least, I do want to thank my sponsors once again. I want to thank Brad Bridges and Dave Watka from Ebonite for their support for well over 12 years in this event. I can't thank Ebonite enough for that. Again, I know a lot of you guys are on staff that are in here, but if those that are not, hit up an EBI demo day, test drive some great stuff. You can throw it before you buy it. Well worth the time for an EBI demo day. I want to thank Ebonite. Also want to thank Ace Fire, Tim Seepers, Smith Heating and Cooling Drain Service, Schomer's Plumbing, Big Four Socks, and I also want to thank the staff here at Mustang Alley for 21 consecutive years of hosting my event. I think they do a wonderful job here supporting the bowlers and this event. I want to thank them too as well. Write your scores down, circle the winning score. Best 2 out of 3 will advance to the second round. Those that do not, losers will earn $250 for first round losers. So, bowlers, once again, high seed on the pair is A, second high pair, seed on the pair is C.
Or B. Or B.
So your opponent
Or B.
Battery went out.
Oh, did it?
All right, welcome everyone to the 2018 Ebonite Lafayette Open, powered by Savage Bowling TV. And Scott Gilmore here. Chad Lester will be joining me here in the broadcast too as well. And match play, round of 32. To me, the best part of this event is right now, when you have all 32 guys bowling. Crowds are bigger, more people are watching. And we got some interesting matches out here, and Nathan Michalowski right in front of us on 13 and 14. He's the #1 overall seed back-to-back years. Never been done. And what does he get for his reward?
He got a plate.
Shannon O'Keefe.
Well, he got a plate too.
Yeah,
you gave him a plate.
Yeah, he got a silver. He got a silver tray.
Which is nice looking.
Yes. You got a silver tray, but still, your reward is Shannon O'Keefe.
Yeah, this is going to be a good match.
Well, Nathan Michalowski is, a very good player. You'll see him right now. Comes in light, leaves the 2-8. But again, we'll see how a lot of guys do this morning. We got some interesting matches out there. Obviously, Joe Bailey is our 3rd seed, looking to defend, become the first back-to-back champion. Vinny Atria years ago tried to do it.
And then he finished, he won and then finished 2nd the next year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Gary Ness beat him.
Yes. But he's made, no, Gary Ness did not beat him. Steve Hartman.
Okay.
Won the year after Vinny did, but Vinny's had 2 seconds, or he's had 2 wins and a 2nd place finish in that span. I think, was it Terry Clayton, I believe, knocked him out 1 year too, but Terry's won this event twice,
right.
Lafayette bowler. But now what you're seeing is a much bigger and broader field, right?
Right.
Before, in its early years, it was more local guys about half an hour to an hour away. Now you got people flying in. Obviously, Shannon O'Keefe and Matthew Farber, who made the cut. They're from the St. Louis area, so it's much different. And I think it shows you how the reputation of the event has grown, and guys now put this on their calendar and say, I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah, and we even had a first-time viewer on the live stream last night asking about the event. He just happened to come across it. I told him all about the event. He was from Alabama. He's like, we might make the trip next year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yes, absolutely. $2,500 now, first place. $1,400 2nd place. So a lot of money up for grabs. Keep in mind it's only a $90 entry fee, so it's paying a lot better than most PBA regionals from an entry standpoint to a payout. We paid out 1 in 5, so 43 spots cash. We had 216 entries. So a great day. First time in the history of the event we had a plus cut. People were asking, well, is it -7 or +6? No. Shannon O'Keefe, by virtue of winning or finishing the top 4 in the 8:30 a.m. squad, was able to lock herself in, and she shot -7. So unfortunately for Mark Sullivan, who was +2, was the odd man out, and Chris Seyfarth was officially the cut at +6. So the one thing I do like about this portion of it, there's a lot of stress, but it's not a total pin match. So if you bowl bad, you have a chance to regroup next game, and best 2 out of 3, I think, is the way to do it.
Yeah, in this first game, if you're getting, just somebody's just annihilating you, you have the rest of the game to get lined up and get ready for the next 2. So it's not like it's total pins and you're all of a sudden down by 75 pins and you have a lot to make up. You just have to win 2 of the 3 games.
Yeah, and some guys have had, as we talked, I think, yesterday a little bit about it in one of the squads, certain guys here they just bowl well in this center, right? For some reason, T.J. Schmidt seems to always make the cut. Once again, he's right there as a 7 seed. And unfortunately for him, bowling, a college teammate and longtime friend, Joe Kloss, but certain guys just bowl good here every year.
That's right.
Chris Seyfarth bowls well in this every year. Mike Kahn always seems to make the cuts. McKendree, Junior Team USA player Brian Halen's made the cut the last couple years. Now Joe Bailey back-to-back cuts. Certain guys just bowl real well here, and it's interesting how that plays out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the pattern is, and they're always making their cut.
One thing I got to make sure I get in, Chad, is plenty of coffee.
We're here for the long haul again.
Well, we were here almost 17 hours yesterday.
Yes.
You just don't realize that that's a long time to be in a bowling center.
Yeah.
But I will say this, though, that the staff here, Larry and Holly, and the staff here at Mustang Alley, they bought the center back from Dave Small. A lot of people don't realize Holly actually owned the center prior to Landmark. It was Starlane's. She sold the center to Dave Small, and Dave, unfortunately, bought some other centers in other areas and decided to step away from Lafayette because it wasn't really kind of in his location area for the most part. And so Holly and Larry decided to buy it back, but the tournament's been affiliated with this center in its inception.
Building, yeah.
And but I will say this: Larry and Holly have really been accommodating this weekend, and it's really been nice to see them enjoy the tournament once again, and have made comments. But it's cool to see when you walk in here at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and there's 200 people standing on the concourse and bowling, and it's pretty impressive.
And I think talking to Holly, she's been away for 9.5 years, so she saw what the tournament was then and what it is now, and how much bigger it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think some people fully realize that until they see it.
Yeah, it's I'm super thankful for the not only the bowling center but my sponsors and so forth. And the bowlers coming out and supporting it. It's a true reflection of what I think the players feel about the event. They know when they come here. Shannon O'Keefe in the interview yesterday stated that she heard it was hard.
That's
what she wanted to bowl.
Come.
She wants to stay sharp, right?
Yeah, she said this is technically their off season, so this is one of the ways to stay sharp is to bowl tournaments like this on the weekends.
Well, they definitely look a lot tighter today.
Yes.
I see Jeffrey Mann has washed out a couple of times, and some guys have a really good look. Randy Muse had a 3-bagger there and comes up high and leaves a 6-pin, but
a lot more surface this morning.
Yes, I've seen guys sanding, and Matthew Farber was sanding his GB3. You see a lot of guys making a lot of changes here, ball surface-wise, and wanting to get the ball to read the fronts.
Yes.
It's challenging. There's no doubt about that. And as I made my announcements this morning, and giving Nathan his silver tray for leading, because it really is amazing to have a guy lead an event like this back-to-back years, but it isn't easy. I mean, the field average, I'm guessing, was somewhere in the 170s. And so I think essentially only had out of 140 or so plus unique bowlers, because we do have a lot of re-entries, but out of 140 plus unique players, only 32 people got to plus.
Yeah.
So
which is amazing.
Just barely, just a little over 20%. So, all right. Real quick, I'll let you take over, Chad.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll be right back.
All right, looking at lanes 7, 8, 9, and 10 right now. TJ Schmidt just walked off the approach there. Like Scott said, this is probably the most exciting round since we have everybody bowling. And that's 2 out of 3. They're about halfway through game 1. Losers of this match receive $250. Something that's always unique about this tournament is you always see a good mix between left-handers and right-handers. I don't think we've had any year in the 21 years where we've seen one dominate over the other. Either have a lot of lefties or no lefties. It's always a good mix of lefties and righties. See Jordan Gray getting up here on lane 8. Can't quite see the scores from here. Should have brought my glasses. Great shot. It's going to be interesting to see how many people do stay with surface, how long they stay with surface. You got to think they were going to break down a lot quicker with the surface. Let's switch over to the high-end cameras. We haven't taken a look at those bowlers yet this morning. Chris Cundiff now bowling on lane 16. Nice shot for him. There's Jackson Cross. Looked a little tight on that shot. He's got a slim lead over Chris Cundiff. Jackson Cross, one of our local bowlers who have made it today. Him and Jeffrey Mann really are the only 2 local bowlers who've made it. Jackson is the number 24 seed. Jeff Mann, I think it was around number 7, I want to say. Number 8, I was pretty close. Jeffrey's getting ready to bowl here on lane 15. Former Junior Team USA member. Won junior gold in 2016. He's working on a strike in the 7th frame. Down by like 20 pins. Strike there would have really cut the lead down. He's bowling against Randy Muse. Nope, my bad. Zach Tackett. Zach Tackett, the number 25 seed. Zach Tackett, the brother of E.J. Tackett. A nice strike there. Jeffrey with the spare. Good cover. Keeps him in the match. He's going to have to throw a couple. He's going to have to string a couple or hope for a break to get back in this game now. It's down by about 25, 30 pins. Saw Mike Kahn walk off the approach there on lane 17 with a strike. One thing that we will see happen, and it happens a lot, where bowlers get beat one game and the next game they are, it totally turns the tables, and you'll see bowlers kind of take charge for the last 2 games and win. So just because you lose the first game doesn't mean you're out of it. All right, we're back down on 13 and 14. Saw Shannon O'Keefe leave another 10 pin. She's having a hard time carrying so far.
All right, you got me, Chad?
I got you. Nice and loud. I'll turn it down.
I've been told worse before.
Yeah, huh? Scott's going to be roaming the house here with the wireless microphone, giving us a more detailed check-in with scores from each of these matches. He's heading down towards the lanes 5 and 6 area. What you got down there?
Well, I'm checking out Jacob Sisk right now, getting ready to shoot a 10-pin here. It's about a 7-pin match between him and Brett Shepard. Brett's got a 1, 2, 4, 8 spare attempt here in the 7th. Jordan Gray's struggling a little bit here against Matthew Farber. Right now, some really tight matches, and I'm watching Jason Solers. He's missed 3 easy spares against Steve Novak, and that's really been, Chris Safarth, and that's really going to be a detriment to him. Real early on right now, Chad. Most matches right now are in about the 7th frame down here.
We're looking live at 13 and 14. Shannon O'Keefe up on lane 13 on a string of spares. And there have been a lot of 10 pins in those spares. Well, if she could carry, she'd be in control of this match for sure. A little bit high. She's going to be thinking right now she needs to get lined up and figure out how to carry if she wants to win the next 2 games. Looks like she's not going to win the first game.
I'm going to fill you in on one match here. Mike Dole and Mike Kahn are in the 7th frame, and Mike Dole has about a 40-pin lead on Mike Kahn. But the big news down here, Chad, is the fact that Joe Bailey is down in his match in game number 1. He's got 98 in the 7th, so he's really struggling. He's down about 28 pins here to Bob Hale.
Yeah, it just shows you anything can happen on this day. Just because you lead the tournament or you're in second doesn't mean you're going to go to that final match.
Yeah, and it's a situation where, you're on a pair of lanes and you don't know how the pair is going to play.
Sure.
And then you have 15 minutes of practice to try to get them worked in. Really looks like right now that it's really tight down lane. You see a lot of guys getting 7 counts.
And you see a lot of weak 10s and weak 7s for the left-handers as well.
Right now, Matt Gazin is in control in his match. He's got 91 in the fifth against Brian Halen with a double working. Brian's got 114 in the sixth, so a 7-pin lead here for Matt. And he just leaves a weak 10 in the eighth. So still pretty early around here. And most of these matches now are just getting into the critical parts of the game, the 8th and 9th, 10th frames.
Just to let the viewers know what's going to happen at the end of each round, we're going to actually go off the air. So YouTube saves the archive of each round so people can go back and watch round by round. So we'd only take probably a minute or two break before we'll just come right back and start the next round. So we'll do that every round. When we get to the final four, we'll take a little bit of a longer break because we have to reposition some cameras, and then we'll have a more formal broadcast of the final four in the championship match.
Well, Nathan looks sharp so far in his match against Shannon.
Yes.
I mean, just steady, you know. Shannon's going to have to shoot, you know, high 210 or 220 to probably win a game, and that's not easy to do.
There was at least three 10 pins she left that game too, so she's hitting the pocket. You just got to get that ball to turn the corner a little bit more to get that 10 pin out. Anything can happen though. Nice shot from Mike Dole. You just saw him on lane 18. He shot a big game the very last game of qualifying last night to make the cut. It was a pretty clutch performance.
Well, and that was what, like the third lefty that shot 250 on that pair.
Yeah, 15 and 16.
Josh Myers shoots 250 his last game to make essentially the cut.
Yep.
And really, Joel Kloss shoots 258 on that pair to really help him get into the number.
Right. And one thing I mentioned when you were taking care of some stuff is this tournament always has a good mixture of lefties and righties. There's never been a year where lefties have dominated or lefties have been quote-unquote shut out. There's always a good mixture. And I think a lot of players like that as well.
Well, the one thing, too, Chad, is it's going to be a situation in a bowler's mind that, okay, I'm not going to have to shoot 230 or 40 to win a game. You know, you can grind it out and shoot a 190 in advance. You can shoot 160 in advance. Remember, we've had a few instances in
120.
Where a 130 game was good. So you just never know. The nice thing is you're bowling your opponent on the same pair they are.
Yes.
And so they're battling the same issues more than likely what your opponent is. So
see, Jackson Cross just went Brooklyn. He's got a pretty firm grasp on this match, it looks like, this game.
Well, and it is so important to win that first game.
Yeah. For one thing, it relieves a lot of tension. You can kind of relax a little bit.
Well, you just know that it's going to take, you're going to go 3 games no matter what, right?
Right. For me, if I win the first game, I'm going to feel kind of relieved and a little bit more relaxed going into the last 2. Your arm swing does definitely get a little bit more loose.
Well, TJ Schmidt's going to win his first game over Joel. Joel really struggling here, only 136 in the 9th. TJ's going to shoot 2-0. Boys, a lot of people missing the head pin.
Right, and we just saw that on lane 10. We're live on that pair right now. Mr. Novak, he's kind of confused on what to do.
I think he just threw a bad shot. But if you look at his last 3 frames, 6 spare, 7 spare, 6 washout. So
yeah, and he's not going to. I mean, his scoring wise, it's not going to be really high. want to thank everybody on the live stream in the chat room joining us. Jeff Armstead from Huntsville, Alabama, watching. He asked how many females are in the round of 32. We have one this year, and that's Shannon O'Keefe. She's down on her first match, but she has started off with a strike on this match right here. We had quite a few females bull again this year, as we always do. Usually we have more than one make it every year too. So, Scott, how long do you think people are going to stay with surface before they start transitioning and they blow it up a little bit?
Well, you figure with all the surface being thrown that the heads will start hooking.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is if you don't get a down lane reaction, then it could be really tricky.
Right.
They're playing a little bit tighter than what I expected them to play.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't double strip last night. So we double stripped Friday before the event started to get all the house pattern off, and then we just stripped and oiled. But when you do that 5 or 6 times, the back ends actually get cleaner and cleaner.
Right.
And so they actually get tighter and tighter. Now, once we get maybe a couple of rounds on, maybe they will open up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the important part is trying to get the ball to read down lane with, and you're seeing a lot of balls just quitting.
Right.
And boy, to knock the 10 pin out is just
10,
tough. Right.
You know, we just saw here on 13 and lane 13. And they think they're throwing good shots, and it just hits the pocket, and you get yourself a weak 10. Back here on 13 and 14 on the live stream.
Well, and when you leave something that is relatively easy, you got to make it.
Uh-huh.
You just can't. You can't chop spares. You can't whiff single pins. You just got to make everything possible. And looks like Chris Seyfarth is going to win his first game. And think of this: if he strikes, he shoots 172.
He's going to win.
And he's going to win. Mm-hmm. So Shannon off to a good start this game, I see.
Yes, he's got a double.
I just cannot get over how many times I've seen guys miss the head pin who thought it was a good shot, and the ball.
Chris was the prime example just now on lane 9. I think he thought that was a good shot. And
I'm really kind of surprised by it. I did not expect it. Good shot there from Shannon.
I don't know if she switched balls or just made a move, but it looks like the ball is reading a little bit earlier. Her first 2 shots were flush.
Well, Mike Dole wins game 1 over Mike Kahn, and he's going to shoot 220 at least.
Yeah.
We're going to come over here and check out the scorecards here on 21 and 22. Brian Halen came back to beat Matt Gazin 189-187. And Bob Hale beat our defending champion Joe Bailey 195-131.
Wow.
So
well,
Joe,
do you think Joe was using the rest of that game to kind of try to find something?
Yeah,
Maybe that's why his score was so low.
I don't know, but obviously he does not.
He's lost.
Does not like the pair.
Yeah.
R.J. Pollard won his first game 220-167 over Hunter Kempton. And Zach Weidman beat Jeff Fair 172 to 155. So scoring pace is much lower than I anticipated this morning.
Almost like it was the very first squad yesterday.
Yeah. And Tyler Perry beat Josh Myers 180 to 168.
Yeah, if I'm shooting 170 or 180 and winning a game, I'm feeling pretty happy.
Well,
but I'm also still maybe kind of worried because you're maybe not going to do that again.
right.
Because your opponent finds something and you don't.
Well, TJ Schmidt shot 203 to Joel Kloss's 166. Down here, too, Matthew Farber shoots 187. Jordan Gray shoots 155. So scoring is much, much lower than what we would have thought. Brett Shepard won his first game, and Gene Perez shoots 217. His game against Greg Young to win game number 1. So still tons of guys missing head pins.
And then it seems like when they try to make that adjustment to get it to, hit the pocket, then they go high. I've seen that quite a bit.
Try to find out here what results on 15 and 16.
I know Jackson Cross won his match.
Yes, he won 197 to 166. And Zach Tackett beat Jeff Mann 195 to 152.
And speaking with Jeff, that was his concern, was trying to figure out the fresh. I really don't know if he figured it out in the squads he bowled yesterday.
Well, Joe Bailey and Bob Hale. Joe starts out with spare strike, and Bob Hale goes strike and then chops a spare. Took the 4-pin straight back off the 7. So Joe's got a lead now in game number 2 in a game he's got to win.
Looking at Jeffrey Mann here on lane 16. He started off this match open. The strike's here. That's much better. But fortunately, his opponent didn't start great either. He went open spares, so there's still some life left in Jeff here for now.
Well, Zach Weidman starts off with a double against Jeff Fair, and Jeff goes spare and now leaves the 3-10. And he's down in his match 1-0, so he's got to win. And this is a big spare early on in game number 2. And he misses it. So open frame for Jeff Fair, and he's in trouble.
Oh. Good shot for Chris Cundiff there. Solid 9.
Well, and he's thinking to himself, as tight as they are, he would have an advantage because he's got a little more hand than Jackson. But, Jackson is used to playing pretty straight all the time. And so hitting 1 or 2 boards hasn't become an issue for Jackson through the years. So
no, his game is straighter's greater. If he has to swing the ball, he gets in a little bit of trouble. But if the condition's conducive to him playing straight, he's going to bowl pretty well. As we see Jackson bowling here on 15 right through the nose. What was that, 4-6?
That's
something he didn't want to see.
Well, and that's what he's got to avoid. His ball just isn't going to do a whole lot down lane anyway. So once it's on the path of the head pin, it's not going to waver.
Yep. And he missed in. Once he missed in, it stayed in.
I didn't catch the score sheets for Ken Abner and Randy Muse match. Who won the first game there? Do you know?
I did not see that.
Well, we'll find out.
My view's kind of blocked by the monitor. Down on 7 and 8, 9 and 10.
Well, unfortunately for Ken, he shoots 201 his first game and loses. How many matches would he have won game one in?
A bunch.
About 95% of them. Randy shoots 223. It just goes to show you. I mean, it's
a luck of the draw.
It's pair to pair.
Mm-hmm. Oh. About halfway through, some pairs are about halfway through the second game, others are in the third and fourth frame. There's a ball return there.
Well, I see Nathan there gives the open right back to Shannon.
Yeah. Yeah, she left a split on that lane, and he left the same exact thing on that lane. She came back and struck, though.
Chris Seyfarth doubles now, and he's got a 25-30 pin lead on Jason Solers, but that is if Jason can make this spare. He's got a difficult spare of the 2-5-6. And he makes it. So right now, Jason with a strike in the fourth would have 46. And Chris would be looking at 80 in the third with a double. So 30 pin lead there early for Chris, who's already won game one.
How crucial is it for some players to bowl 2 games instead of 3? When you bowl 3-game matches all the way through, you're going to get tired. It's a lot of games today.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I would love to have best 3 out of 5 in the first round.
Yeah.
But again, I think you're asking an awful lot.
Yes.
Of bowlers when you're bowling 4 or 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're matched, if you go to the final match and each of yours has taken 3 games, I mean, you're talking 15 games.
Yeah.
And that's just too much to ask for. And I think that's why you might have a lower number of seniors play, bowlers over 60, because that's an awful lot to ask on the legs. And so really it's about being fit, and, bowlers that are in good shape seem to do well. Here's a big shot for Shannon right here.
We're going to go to that pair right here. She's on lane 13, working on a strike. This is a good double. Oh,
my goodness.
She's had 2 other hits like that.
tickles the 7-pin there.
2 other hits like that this game, and she's left the 7-pin. I think it was in the 2nd and 3rd frame.
Well, as you know, Nathan Michalowski was our #1 seed last year and lost 2-1 to Joel Kloss. So he's got to be.
If I remember right, that was a really good match.
Yes,
too.
it was. Joel bowled extremely well in that match. So you know Nathan is probably hoping, got to get through this.
Wasn't it really high scoring too?
Yeah, I think it was.
Last game, it was like I want to say he shot 250 and lost.
No, he didn't shoot
Something like
250
that.
and but they each shot 600 in their series, which is a lot.
I just remember, you bowled really good and you lose,
Well, and then you look, a match next to you and a guy shoots, 170, 180 and wins both his games, And here you shoot 200, 200, 200 and you're going home. That just Ken Abner there unfortunately leaves a 4-9 and misses. He's still going to be up in his game right here, but just a 2-pin game right there between him and Randy Muse.
Shannon up here on lane 14 can really put some pressure on Nathan if she strikes here. Nice shot. Some of these players, they live for match play. I know you're a player that loves match play over qualifying, but
well, to me, it's it's a head-to-head match. Mm-hmm. So I don't like posting numbers. I've never been one to thrive in just posting a number and hope it makes it. I would rather beat one guy, and that's why I've always kind of fared well. And TJ Schmidt just made the 4-9.
Great shot.
Greg Young had the front 4 and just left a 4-9. We're about halfway through down here on the low end of the house in game number 2.
It looks, never mind. I was looking at 11-12. We already have names up in 11-12. There's 2 names. I was like, oh, somebody went home. They were done on 11-12.
We haven't used that pair yet.
We will not use 11 and 12 till the semifinals.
We might. The only thing, and the reason why I'm considering using it in the next round is because we have, they look kind of ugly. Mm-hmm. And it might be good to get some transition into the pair, right?
Sure.
I don't know if having a fresh pair for the semifinals would be conducive to some interesting scoring. However, lane play could be real interesting. I don't know. So we'll see what we do. Right now, you're right though. It's not in the rotation until the semifinals. But we'll give players plenty of practice on the pair.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of downtime to move cameras, so they should have a good 15 minutes or so, I would think.
Oh, Nathan Michalowski, real fortunate to.
Starting to see the balls check up now.
Well, everybody using surface.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's helping some people carry better, too.
Right now, Jordan Gray has a 30-pin lead on Matthew Farber, trying to square that match at 1-1. I'm going to go down and check on the Joe Bailey match. Joe's got a 16-pin lead right now for Bob Hale. They're in the 7th frame.
looks a little bit more lined up to you. Have you seen him throw a shot yet?
I have not seen him throw a shot yet. I will say Brian Halen is got a comfortable lead over Matt Gazin. He's up 30, and he's already won game 1. So Matt needing to get on the strike train here real quick to try to get this match even at 1 game apiece. But here's Joe in the 7th frame. Oh, just left a stone 9.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I could see it from here.
Well, Zach Weidman just left the 4-6-10, and he opens in the 6th. Zach's got 133. Jeff Fair has 96 in the 5th with a strike in the 6th. He can strike right now and cut that match down to 17 pins. So Jeff Fair is in a must-strike situation in his match. But in the Bob Hale-Joe Bailey match, Bob Hale now left the 3-6. So an 18-pin lead for Joe Bailey in his game going into the 8th frame. He has to win this to force a game 3.
Yeah, and I'm watching the Zach Tackett Jeff Mann match, and Zach has a small lead depending on what he does here in the 8th frame.
You know, Bob Hill is a good player. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky. He's no slouch at the 30 seed in this, and that just shows you from top to bottom, from 31 or from 1 to 32. Everybody that's in here should be here for a reason because they're a great player, and this is one of the most talented top 32s we've had in quite a long time.
That's right. Everybody in this field could win this tournament.
Oh, Brian Halen is lined up. He's now thrown a 4-bagger that I've seen so far in this match. Matt Gazin has to strike here in the 7th to have any chance.
It looks like Shannon O'Keefe's going to win her match. Nathan shot 188. Shannon's on a 234 pace if she strikes out.
Oh, Matt Gazin just split, Chad, in the 7th frame, and that's going to pretty much do him in, unless he's going to have for some hope that Brian Halen makes some big costly errors here in the 8th and 9th frame to have a chance.
Right.
And he missed the spare.
Shannon's going to shoot in the 240s. She just came back here and grabbed another ball here in the lap for the last ball in the 10th to see what she has. Looks like it's something shiny, too.
Well, I'm watching the other match in front of you, the Ken Abner-Randy Muse match, and Ken has to double here to force Randy to get the first one in the 10th to win the match.
That's right.
This is a huge shot for Ken Abner.
As you're watching here on the live stream, Shannon threw her last shot, and then we'll keep it here to watch the 10th frame of the other match. It's pretty close.
Jeff Fair did double. So, and Zach Weidman went 7 spare. So, Jeff's still in this match. Oh, there's that big double by Ken Abner. That's going to force Randy to get the first one here in the 10th to win.
Here he goes. Oh.
Didn't get it.
Nope. This one's going to game 3 as well.
Ken Abner needs 8 pins to shut him out.
Oh, yep.
That would put him at 167. That goes to show you just never know.
Yeah.
8 pins to win game number 2 for Ken Abner here.
Looks good.
Oh, nice shot. Now Ken's going to force game 3.
So both these matches are going to game 3. Over on 15 and 16, Jeff Mann doubled.
Oh,
Take
Jackson.
a little bit more control of that match.
But Chris Cundiff and Jackson Cross are in a dogfight here.
Yeah. Nobody wants to take control of this game, it looks like.
All right, Chad, a big shot here for Jeff Fair in the 8th frame against Zach Weidman. Zach just left the 3-8. So Zach's struggling here a little bit, trying to find the pocket. Jeff Fair with a double can pretty much take the lead in this match.
You're going to see that shot in the very right hand of your screen for the people who are watching.
He got it in.
Yep.
Well, he broke it up. Looked like he missed a little left with that, not by much. He's going to be trailing now in this game. He needed that strike right there. And a good spare there by Zach. So set it up here. If Jeff spares, it's going to be a 7-pin game going into the last 2 frames.
Wow.
And he gets it, so. All right, the Jeff Mann, Zach Tackett match. Jeff would strike, shoots 190. That would force Zach Tackett to get the first 2 in the 10th to win his match. That's no bargain.
And Jeff knew he needed a strike there. Would have helped him out quite a bit. Week 10.
Week 10, that's going to.
You didn't see that on the live stream, but Zach leaves the week 10.
Well, Jeff still needs to get 8 pins here.
That's no gimme either.
Well, it's easy to get 6 or 7, that's
There
for
it
sure.
goes. Nice shot.
Not when you put 10 back.
Yep. So that one's going to game 3.
Well, we got game 3's going on, both of them for 13 and 14.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but
No.
the quality players that we have out here, I think we're going to see a lot of 3-game matches.
I'm going to see if I can't get a sneak peek here at Jeff Fair's shot on 20. They're going into the 9th frame. Jeff needs to win this game to force game 3. Ooh, R.J. Pollard just missed a 2-pin.
Oh.
And he's going to be looking at game 3.
And those are the spares you don't
Tyler
wanna miss.
Perry just made the 4 or the 6-7-10 split to stay in his match.
Wow.
He's leading game 1 though, but he's sticking tight now in game 2. Here's Jeff Fair, lane 20. Oh, light mixer strike. Zach Weidman follows it with a strike. So that match is going to go, this game is going to go in the 10th frame with those two. I'm going to go down on the low end of the house, Chad, to see what we can find out.
I just saw TJ Schmidt throw a Brooklyn.
Well, Joel's leading that game. We'll find out what's going down here on 5 and 6. It looks like Greg Young is leading Gene Perez in game 2. And Jacob Sisk is leading Brett Shepard in game 2, but he's trailing 1-0 in the match. And he just missed left, the head pin left. Check out the Matthew Farber match. He is down big to Jordan Gray, so it looks like that's going to go 3 games. Well, that's how you pick up the 4-6-10.
Oh, was it 4-6-10? Couldn't tell if the 7 was there too. I just saw him from this angle.
Well, you never know. That was a big shot for Matthew.
Yes.
Looks like Jason Sollers is really struggling too as well. Yeah, he's pretty well. That match is over. It looks like Chris Safart's going to win that one.
And he's another bowler that's always in this.
Well, we're getting down to crunch time here.
Mm-hmm. Steve Novak's taking a re-rack on lane 9.
Well, looks like we got a tie here.
Where at?
All right, I got to handle a tie down here on 15 and 16.
One ball roll off, is that how you do it? What do they got to do?
Okay, Chris Cundiff and Jackson Cross tied in their game. We're going to do a 1-ball sudden death roll off to determine the winning game.
Make sure those scores get corrected after they're done. Six pins for Chris. Jackson needs to get more than 6. He won the first game, so he would advance, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll have to reset at the counter.
Yeah, I'll get that. Multitasking here. Tournament director / commentator.
I just knew that because I saw them yesterday have to have the counter reset that machine.
Well, I'm sure Chris was probably thinking, 8 or better.
Oh, yeah.
But
this is not a gimme. I've seen Jackson.
Well, I know if I'm Jackson, I know what I'm doing. This is going right at the head pin.
Right. Here he goes. Looks like it'd be good to me. Strike. He's going to move on to the next round. Nice shot, Jackson. All right, we're going to go back to our center pair, Shannon O'Keefe, in game 3, up on lane 13 with a strike. She's in control of this game right here. Nathan started out with a double, opened in the 3rd. He left a 10-pin here now in the 4th.
Well, you got to be thinking Nathan Michalowski's probably seeing deja vu all over again.
Right.
I'm going to go down and see what the Jeff Fair. Oh, Jeff Fair came back to win. He threw the first one in the 10th to shoot 213, and Zach Weidman opened to shoot 197, so that match is going to go 3. A lot of 3-game matches right here. Matt Gazin has been eliminated.
getting into a lot of these game 2s. A couple pairs have started their game 3.
Well, a lot of matches here are going to go to game 3.
Oh yeah, yep.
Looks like Jordan Gray, Matthew Farber's going game 3. Looks like T.J. Schmidt and Joel Kloss is going game 3. Looks like Jacob Sisk's game is going to go game 3. So, I mean, right now, Greg Young needs the first one here in the 10th, possibly. He's got an 8-pin lead over Gene Perez, both with strikes in the 9th. So, Greg Young looking to force a game 3 here. First ball in the 10th. Strike working.
Oh, nice shot.
Rips the rack there.
Oh, Shannon just hit light pocket and left a 5-7. That's a tough break. We'll watch her shoot the spare, and we'll come down to where you're at.
Well, Jordan Gray just threw the first one in the 10th. He can shoot 279.
Yeah, every time I look down there, he's striking.
Matthew Farber could have still shot 220, but he missed there.
It looks like, to me, Jordan's playing out. Am I right?
Yes, Gene's playing way out. He just left the Greek church.
Jordan's playing out, too.
Jordan switched balls, I believe, at some point in the last game. And whatever he switched to, we'll get a good look here.
He was throwing a red ball.
Yeah, that is the track tactics he switched to, and as soon as he switched to that, he really thrown the ball well.
Yeah.
Greg Young's going to win game 2. Gene Perez left the Greek church in the 10th. Gene Perez is on quite the roll.
Not surprising, though. He's such a dangerous player.
Looks like Tommy T-Cats is going to survive and advance over Steve Novak. So that's a surprise there in a sense. Steve Novak, great player, was from Michigan, resides in Louisville now.
A lot of good players in the Louisville area.
Well, Shannon still has right now a 1-pin lead over Nathan Michalowski. You got to figure, though, for Nathan, stress starts setting in here a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes. When you see somebody leave a split like that, you can relax just a little bit, but knowing the caliber of player you're playing against, you can't.
Well, she's not going to give you anything.
No, she's not.
You're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, she's very experienced, obviously, in these situations.
You know, and I know Nathan, bowling well, he's probably like, okay, if I bowl my game, I'm fine. But however, when you know you're bowling an opponent that's not going to give you anything, it makes it a little bit more stressful,
It gets in your head a little bit for sure. Oh, he went high.
Hey, Chad, I'm here with Matt Gazin here, right behind you. Matt, you bowled well in qualifying. I saw you struggle a little bit on that pair. What was happening on 21 and 22?
I really haven't been throwing it very well in a while, and from what I'm seeing, you have to have a pretty soft hand and pretty forward roll to create hold on this pattern, and I didn't have that, so I had a little bit of hook from the track area, but every time I pinched it a bit left, it went high, and I missed a spare in the 10th frame, the first game to lose that game, and then his ball reaction just got pretty good, and just mine got a little worse, and I wasn't able to figure it out.
Now, what's coming up for you? I know you probably have the holiday doubles.
Yeah, that's in 2 weekends, and then next weekend in Orlando, Florida area, there's the Peak Performance Open. So I'm going to go bowl those 2 events, and then got a little break before I bowl some of the tour stuff.
You work for EBI. Tell the people out there what's your job. What do you do for Ebonite and Team EBI?
So my title is Assistant Product Manager. Basically, what that entails is very involved with the product development. I'm pretty much our main ball tester. So I do a lot of pretty much all of the research and development testing, and then involved with the product picking as well when we go out in the field and pick that. And then a lot of the day-to-day of the just a development for future balls with the names, the colors, cores, development, cover stocks, that kind of stuff. and trying to give direction with where we need to go in the product line, along with Rich and Rob.
It's got to be a fun job.
Yeah, it's fun. It's long hours, but it's well worth it. And the balls are getting better, and our staffers are having a lot of success out there. So it's kind of good to see things come full circle.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to give you a name, and you give me a one-word comment or two-word comment to describe that person. Dave Wadka.
Organized.
Rob Gottschall.
I don't have a one word. It's kind of a saying.
Okay.
He's
Go ahead.
very black and white.
Very black and white. So, I guess, who else, I guess, how do I want to say this? Who else would you like to say anything about that you work with that you want to try to, like, maybe even Rich Hansen?
Rich, so if we were all in first grade again, Rich would be the class clown. He's a very, funny, kind of, goofy guy, but, super smart. And he's I guess you could say he's kind of like a mentor with the ball development stuff to me because he did it for such a long time. And so I learned a lot of the stuff from him.
Well, being on staff, I appreciate all the hard work. I know I follow you guys a lot with some of the videos and the ball testing and all that stuff. So, but I want to thank you for making the long trip up here to participate in your first one. So hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Next year. I love them when they're hard. So the more that I don't have to throw doubles, the better chance I have.
Right. All right, Matt Gasson, everyone. Thanks a lot, and safe travels back to Hopkinsville. But, hey, when you throw in some of this really good this Ebonite stuff, this EBI stuff, this guy has a little bit to do with that as well. So, but anyway, he's out in 2 games, unfortunately, but you'll see a lot more from him at Dave O'Sullivan's Peak Performance Open and also the Holiday Doubles coming up this month.
All right, update on the Shannon O'Keefe match. She is up by 4 pins after 7 frames.
Okay, looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches going 3 games. Here's a big shot from Nathan Michalowski, down 4.
Oh, almost 4-9.
Fortunate to knock that
That's right.
9 pin out.
They both spare here. It's still a 4-pin lead for Shannon O'Keefe.
Well,
You guys, go ahead.
Zach Tackett just doubled to take back the lead. Actually, he's only trailing by 1. So Jeff Mann here with a big shot.
You're looking at that live on the live stream here. Jeff Mann up on lane 16.
Oh, Mike Dole just picked up the rail. Good match here between Zach Weidman and Jeff Fair. I'm telling you, there is some really, really close matches here.
Jeff just threw a good shot. Just a little bit high, left the 4-pin.
You know what I'm seeing, Chad? I'm seeing the pace of play come to a grinding halt. As you can tell, matches are getting down to the late stages.
Yeah, people are definitely taking their time, thinking a little bit more in between shots.
Jeff Fair just struck in the 4th. He's got a lead over Zach Weidman, who went open, strike, spare strike. All right, Chad, I'm over here with Steve Novak, who unfortunately ran into some tough circumstances. Steve, what was going on your pair that just gave you a little bit of trouble?
Nothing. I threw the ball like an idiot.
Well, that point blank tells you how it is. But Steve, once again, always bowls well here. Always seems to make the cut. But that's just how things happen. Sometimes you get on a pair that just is a little bit tougher, and you can't get matched up.
Yeah, watching him bowl, he was shaking his head a lot as he was walking off the approach of those games. You guys are looking live on 13 and 14. Number 1 seed Nathan against Shannon O'Keefe. It's only a 4-pin difference right now.
Jordan Gray just left the 4-6-7.
Ooh. Oh, trip 4.
Well, that's going to put some stress on Shannon to throw a good shot. Greg Young looking to double early here in frame 3 to take a lead. Oh, and he goes Greek Church. Oh, shoot.
She didn't have to hit him, and Shannon didn't. That was the worst shot we've seen her probably throw all weekend. But
Well,
she's still in it. A lot can happen in the 10th frame.
Well, she still has. If she makes this spare, she still has a 1-pin lead.
This is not a gimme either.
Well, Ken Abner needs to get back in the strike.
He broke it up.
Good break there. Just leaves the 4-7. Almost had the 4-6-7-10. Boy, there is some. I mean, you got.
Almost got the Greek Church down there.
Chad, you just got close match after close match on every pair. Oh, Zach Wyman just missed the head pin right to leave the rail. Jeff Fair just threw a strike in the 5th to double.
And that's what's great about a harder leg condition. You see a lot more close matches.
Well, the other thing, too, is in this format, it's not about how many pins you knock down totally. It's just beating a guy. And Joe Bailey just picked up a spare in the 4th. And he is up 9 pins right now over Bob Hale.
Shannon O'Keefe's going to get up here in the 10th frame, make sure she goes first to kind of see if she can put some pressure on her opponent.
Well, thinking she needs to throw a strike right here.
I agree. Oh, great shot.
Well, that's why she's PWBA Player of the Year right there,
Yep.
Chad. When you can step up in the 10th. Now, Nathan Michalowski.
He's got a match.
It's not over. If he strikes here, he still needs another one in the 11th if Shannon gets the second one here. Anything less, we could have a sudden death roll-off here in this game. Ties are a possibility.
Oh, he almost left the 7-10. Wow.
Now, Shannon has to have this one. She can still shoot 202. If Nathan doesn't get the second one, he would be in the 190s. Or the 2-0s, excuse me.
That was good.
Oh, it comes in light.
Dang it.
That's going to be it.
Good weekend for her, though. She
Well,
pulled probably one of the hardest squads of the weekend. And,
Well, she didn't come here to just cash. She came here to win. And unfortunately for her, Nathan bowled just good enough. Now he needs a good count here.
Yep. And he should get it. He's around the head pin all the time.
Oh, 6 count.
Oh,
Let's see. Wait a minute.
What does that do? 193.
198.
Oh,
He's still good.
That's enough. That's just enough.
Yep. That first one in the 10th, when she didn't get the second one, was enough.
God, what is she thinking now? Man, if I had that strike.
And she just barely missed the head pin. But Shannon O'Keefe is going to go down in the first round, and Nathan Mikulowski finally gets the monkey off his back.
He wins the match by 4 pins, 196 to 192. Now we're gonna see how this match, this next match on their pair is gonna finish up.
Well, what does that do here for Randy
That's what I was
Muse?
just looking.
Well, he's got 188.
He's not happy about it either. Let's see what Ken can do.
Oh,
Man,
bad
that's
shot.
gonna do it. Man.
Well, Randy Muse is going to survive. Boy, I tell you, if Ken gets the first one there.
It makes it really interesting.
Well, it's not over yet. Let's see here. It's not over yet. Ken can make this spare.
And still win.
He gets 190. He could win by a pin if he gets the spare. He's got to make this. And Zach Tackett's in control over Jeffrey Mann here. He needs 9 spare here to win his match.
All right, let's see if he can get this. Oh,
No.
not quite. It's a good match, though. Both those matches on that pair were great.
Both of them open in the 10th, and Randy survives.
Go back down to the low end on the live stream. On the high end, Zach Tackett's finishing out his win.
No. Well,
No,
he needs
not-
to make this spare.
He's got to make the spare.
He's at 223 right now. If he makes the spare, he wins.
Yes.
If he misses, Jeff Mann has to strike out in the 10th to force a roll-off. Let's see what the Joe Bailey match is. Bob Hale just opened in the 6th frame to give Joe a little bit of a cushion here. Oh, yep, there's your winner. 224 for Zach Tackett. And he'll defeat Jeffrey Mann in the first round. You're starting to see scores come up a little bit.
Right, right. The finish of the balls are starting to be a little bit more predictable. We'll stay down on the low end with the live stream. Quite a few matches still going on down there. 9 and 10 has finished. 7 and 8 is what you're seeing now.
Well, Joe Kloss had a 3-bagger working against TJ Schmidt.
That rode the gutter, didn't it?
Yeah, he missed left there. Greg Young, and all of a sudden, Greg Young and Gene Perez have started to struggle. Greg Young just picked up a 6-count spare to be down 3. Gene Perez opened in the 5th. Greg Young has opened in the 3rd and 4th.
And TJ just missed the spare. What does that do down there on that match?
Yeah, I wonder how much Nathan Mikulowski has aged. Let's go down and talk to him real quick.
He's sitting by himself, I think, reflecting on that win.
Well, Chad, I'm down here with Nathan Mikulowski. And Nathan, you led last year, and unfortunately you bowled great in your match and came up short against the 32 seed, and you find yourself the number 1 seed today, and then you got to bowl Shannon O'Keefe, and you know she's not going to give anything, and that looked like a really stressful match, but you threw a great shot there in the first ball in the 10th. Tell us about it.
Just told myself to make a really good shot. Obviously, I know she was going to keep it around the pocket, and there's no defense in bowling, and obviously got to get up there and make the shot, and I did.
I know you were probably thinking you didn't want to see deja vu all over again, but you grinded away. You bowled good all weekend, though, right? You came in and led the field for the first time ever 2 years in a row. And now that you got through the first match, does that kind of calm the nerves a little bit?
Well, I've been in situations with match play, and it can go either way. So, you just take one shot at a time, one match at a time, and see where it goes.
Well, you look calm on the outside, that's for sure. But now that you've made it through, do you have a strategy in mind, or are you just going to look what the pair gives you and what your opponent gives you?
Well, the pair is going to dictate what I throw and how I attack it. Guys are playing all over the place with different lane surfaces or different ball surfaces and whatnot. So whatever pair I go to next, who knows what I'm going to get. So I have to keep an open mind.
All right, good bowling. Congratulations on that first round win. And guys, look for Nathan Michalowski maybe to make a run this year as the #1 seed. All right, Chad. All right, Chad. I'm down here with Shannon O'Keefe, and Shannon, you are made the top 32 by virtue of the top 4 guarantee, but we obviously know that's not why you made it. But you had a tough match with Nathan, who was just kind of steady Eddie, is what we say. You get to the 10th frame. You throw the first one in the 10th. You get to the second one. What happened there?
Just got a little quick. It actually goes back to the 9th frame. I got quick in the 9th frame. If I throw a good shot in the 9th frame and strike, then it doesn't even matter. But didn't throw very good in the 9th, and so it forced me to have to double. I was pretty confident he would double in the 10th anyway, so just got a little quick. It's actually what I wrote in my journal. I write in my journal after every single day of practice and every day of competition. And one of the questions I ask myself is, I'm looking for a solution to what? And something that I have a tendency to do at the end of matches is get a little quick. Something I need to work on.
Well, I know both you two weren't going to give the other anything, and playing the same part of the lane. I saw you couldn't carry the first game, and that second game. What changes from game 2 to game 3 that you saw on that pair?
I changed balls. I went to something that's a little cleaner, so it would store a little bit more energy. I probably needed to change to it. I probably needed to start with it, to be honest, and I always have a tendency to use something a little bit stronger in case there's carry down, and it just plaqued the whole time. But he wasn't running away from me that first game, so there was really no sense in me changing balls. If I catch a double or a triple towards the end of that game, it could have been very different. Unfortunately, I didn't, so in my fill shot, I threw something different, and it did exactly what I wanted to see it do. And then from there, I just kept chasing it.
All right, still a great weekend. We thank you for making the trip to bowl, and we'll be watching Mike Flanagan's live stream for you and Rob Gotcho at the Holiday Double. All right, Rob, there you go. She can't wait. So, again, and gracious in defeat is Shannon O'Keefe. And look for her, again, to defend that PWBA Player of the Year next season.
All right, we're getting towards the end of these first round matches, round of 32 here at the 21st Ebonite Lafayette Open. Scott, what do you see down there? Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Technology. What you have to do is when there's a volume button,
you got to turn it up.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're down here at the Greg Young Gene Perez match, and Gene just goes through the face to leave the 2-4. Right now, just a 2-pin game, and Brett Shepard goes back-to-back opens in the 6th and 7th frame to let Jacob Sisk right back in the match. Matthew Farber up 15 right now against Jordan Gray. That's in the 7th frame. And Gene Perez just missed the
Wow.
2
Altogether.
2-4. Yes.
Let's see Jordan Gray. He just missed a head pin on his last shot. Picked up the spare, but he looked like he was dialed in the last game.
Well, right
Looks
now,
like he's talking to some of his people back there, and he's maybe dealing with some timing issues.
all right,
possibly.
right, yeah. TJ Schmidt right now he's got a strike in the 7th. He's down 24. He could cut that lead to 14 with the strike here. Oh, Greg Young just leaves a 7-pin. What you're seeing right now, Chad? The ball's coming in so late that the head pin's getting stopped by the 5.
Right.
Or I should say the 5-pin's getting stopped by the head pin, and TJ just leaves a swisher 10. You could see the frustration starting to mount. Brett Shepard throws a high flush strike in the 8th. Jacob Sisk is going to need to get a strike here, but Greg Young has started to basically crawl in his match. He is really taking a lot of time. I'm going to try to go. Unfortunately, all the matches that are still left are from one end of the house to the other.
You're getting your steps in now, continually.
All right. Looks like Joe Bailey is going to win his match over Bob Hale. Jeff Fair is going to win over Zach Weidman. I'd like to get a word with Jeff Fair because you talk about the ups and downs in a match. He has experienced everything. And right now, the Josh Myers-Tyler Perry match is one of those that nobody wants to win.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Tyler Perry's last 4 frames are 9 open, 7-1 split, strike, 9 count, and now he's trying to make a spare.
And it's the 4-pin. Or 6-pin, sorry.
A lot of people don't know who Tyler Perry is. And as he celebrates the spare. But Tyler Perry is a collegiate bowler for Vincennes who right now would be one of the favored players to win College Player of the Year. He has been on a tear on the collegiate tour. Well, Joe Bailey's probably thinking, just get me off this pair. He's going to win.
Yeah, after that start that he had on game 1, he's fortunate to get through this match.
Well, R.J. Pollard and Hunter Kempton's match, it's all strikes down here. And right now it looks like Hunter Kempton can shoot 279.
Wow.
But the sad thing is it looks like R.J. Pollard could shoot about 240 or 50.
Wow. And, we see a match like that every year where 2 high scores, somebody's got to lose, unfortunately.
8-pin match in the Tyler Perry-Josh Myers contest. And Josh Myers just struck in the 8th frame. Both those players right now are on about a 160 pace.
Every time I see Josh throw that ball he's got, it reminds me of the green nitro war from Ebonite back in the day. Remember that ball?
Yeah.
Great ball.
Yeah.
And we're just speaking of color, not reaction.
Right. Oh, Mike Kahn just trips the 4. He doubles now in the 7th. He is right now at 144 in the 6th frame. He's got a 32-pin lead on Mike Dole. Here's the difficult thing for R.J. Pollard. Just got an 8 count in the 10th. He can shoot 235 and get beat by 40 pins. Tyler Perry's going to shoot 260 or at least. Okay, heading back down. Ooh, it looks like Matthew Farber opened in the 8th frame to let Jordan Gray back in it. And then misses the head pin left.
Wow.
Jordan Gray could take control of this match with the strike here in the 9th frame.
We got some really close matches, Chad, coming down here. 6-pin game with Jacob Sisk and Brett Shepard. 9-pin game with Greg Young and Gene Perez.
We got that out.
And he missed. That's fortunate to leave just a 2-pin. Three-pin game right here with Jordan Gray and Matthew Farber. And TJ Schmidt can shoot 192. Joel Kloss is on a 2-0 pace. Anything can happen.
That's right.
Looks like Hunter Kempton is going to knock out R.J. Pollard. I'm sure he's going to be thinking to himself, he's going to come up short once again. All right, both players spare in the 9th. That's going to come down to the 10th frame, and looked like Mike Kahn just went right through the face to leave a 4-6. With Mike Dole doubled.
Yes.
That's going to change that match.
He gives score sheets of Karen, right? Yeah. I saw Mike Dole throw his last shot. He was kind of fired up with that strike.
Gene Perez just doubled too. So Gene Perez and Greg Young both double in the 8th and 9th. See if I can't get a quick word maybe with a few other competitors, but there's so many things going on here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Joel. With the 3-7.
Well, Tyler Perry can take a 2-pin lead here in the 9th frame with the strike.
Watching it live on the live stream right now.
Nope.
Yep. A little bit of a balk. Step back, regroup.
Oh, Brett Shepard just threw a strike there in the first one of 10th. He can shoot 192, but Jacob Sisk can shoot 197. Joe Kloss is going to win and knock our 2016 champion out, TJ Schmidt.
That's got to be tough for both those guys. They're good friends. Boilermaker alumni.
Well, Jacob Sisk can knock out our 2014 champion, I believe, Brett Shepard here with a strike. Second ball in the 10th. And, oh, I just saw Tyler Perry leave a solid 10-pin.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Oh, Jacob Sisk goes 4-6. So that's 182 right now. So Brett Shepard needs this one in the 10th to win. Anything less than a strike, and Brett Shepard.
And we're down on that. You're going to see him on lane 5, off to the right of your screen.
Jordan Gray gets the first one in the 10th, and that's going to force Matthew Farber to match him. Boy, there is some really, really good matches still left.
Here's Brett's shot right here. You'll see right off to the right of the screen. Or left of the screen,
Oh,
sorry.
missed the head pin left.
Yes.
That's going to knock him out. Wow. Well, Jacob just needs to get a pin. Well, and Brett knows he had his chance. Oh, flat 10. Not over yet.
Nope.
It's not over yet. Oh, Jacob Sisk just missed the 6-pin. And now Brett Shepard needs the spare to force a 1-ball roll-off. Can you believe that?
And Jacob knew it, too.
You know.
We're going to leave it right here. You're going to see that right off to the left of your screen. His spare attempt.
Here's Jordan Gray. He needs this one. If Jordan Gray strikes here on lane 7, he will win his match over Matthew Farber. Looks good.
Looks good, yep. He likes it. Oh,
Oh, and it comes up
he liked
light,
it, too.
and he liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good shot. Here's
Brett Spare.
Oh, we got a one-ball roll-off. We'll do that at the completion of this. All right, Matthew Farber for the spare. All right, let's set this up. If Jordan picks up his spare, Matthew needs 9 pins to win his match. How's the Tyler Perry? What's the Tyler Perry Josh Myers outcome?
Let's see. Josh just threw a strike in the 10th. Let me see here. I think Josh is going to win this game.
All right. Okay. Lane 5 and 6 has a boatload of drama right now. Greg Young and Gene Perez are tied.
Ooh. We can have another tie then.
Well, they're check that. Greg Young has a 9-pin lead, so a strike here would really help Greg's cause. Looks good. Oh, and he leaves a flat 10-pin.
And I told you wrong. No, yeah, Josh Myers is going to win that match.
Well, here's Matthew Farber. He needs 9 pins to advance.
Mike Dole liked his shot.
Oh my goodness. It looked like he was going to get 7 pins, and he somehow trips too late to get a 9 count to beat Jordan Gray.
Wow.
Oh.
Great match.
Here's Gene Perez. Oh, and
nice
he gets
shot.
it.
Clutch.
I tell you, Gene Perez is awful good in the clutch. Still not over yet. Greg Young needs to spare. Oh, and he misses the 10-pin. Oh, that match is over.
We just have to do that roll-off down there.
If Greg Young gets a spare and strike, that forces Gene Perez to at least get 9 on the first ball. It looks like maybe Mike Dole's going to come back and win.
Yeah.
Here's Gene's, and he's just going right at it. That's all it takes. All right. We'll get
a one-ball roll-off here on
one-ball roll-off to decide who wins our
5 and 6
match on 5 and 6.
So Mike Dole finishes out his match. Looks like another strike.
Well, this is the
He
second.
threw some clutch shots there at the end of that game.
Yeah, second sudden death roll-off here.
Already.
All right, we're going to get him cleared out. We're going to do this live. Where is Jacob's here? Where's Brett at? Who's the high seed on the pair? Jacob, you get lane choice and starting order. All right, we're going to have Jacob start on lane 5. Sudden death roll-off. High score will advance on a 1 ball to determine who advances to round number 2. This is essentially, I think, our last match going on.
They're finishing up down here, but it's already decided. Actually, it is finished down there, so yeah, this is the only thing going on. You're going to see it over just to the left of your screen.
This might be the most drama we've ever had
early on like this.
In the first round.
That's why this round is the most exciting, really. Because you got a ton of close matches.
Here's Jacob Sisk. Sudden death roll-off. Oh, and he gets it left. Oh
Brooklyn strikes.
Brooklyn strikes. Oh, boy. You know, if that's you doing it, you don't want to win that way, but,
well, whatever.
You take whatever. It's just about survival and advance right now.
Just let everybody know once this match is completed, we're going to sign off for about 2 or 3 minutes and then come back on for the round of 16.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
Brett Shepard needs a strike to tie. Oh, and he leaves.
Jacob's going to move on.
Jacob's going to move on.
All right, that'll do it for the round of 32. We're going to sign off here for about 2 or 3 minutes, reset everything, and come back for the round of 16. Stay tuned for the round of 16 here on Savage Bowling TV.